All right, how you hearing me, ladies and gentlemen? We are live here in Salem, Illinois. It is Wednesday night, and Alan Smith, it is windy. Very windy. Patrick Schaefer, good to see you on here, buddy. Brody Julian, a lot of regular commenters. I like that. Alan Smith says loud and clear. Glad you guys can hear me. It is Wednesday night here in Salem. It is the big one, the big show. PKC World Championship. We're going to go through everybody who has got in so far at both the regionals and here at Salem. Of course, I just rolled in today. Um, right now, it is sunny, but the wind is howling, and the wind has been howling all week, according to everybody. But some really good dogs are already in. I've sat down, I've talked to Strickland for a little bit. He told me a little bit about his cast last night and a few others. Just going through some of the names right here that got in last night, and it is a lot of the same old, same old. You know, you look at Strickland, Weed, Rickliffs, Stollard, Kosselman, Murphy, Pyatt, Ward, Vanover. But it's all luck. Everybody says it's all luck, but yet the same guys keep getting in. Ocean Drive Snooky's Cookie, Justin Davenport, he got in on Monday. Elijah Leverett, Doug Havner, Bobby Burden, Greg Maynard, Austin Gentry, Barry Kitty. So yeah, very, very familiar names. A lot of good hunters that have not got back or got in, and they are going back out tonight. Like I said, crazy weather. It is springtime. The wind is howling. It's going to be difficult for hunters tonight. Just to hear dogs, just to get them struck, get them treed. I've already heard a lot of horror stories about I was treed the whole cast. I couldn't hear my dog. All that stuff. Brett Denny, I was just talking to him, and he said that last night treated a coon out of the truck, pre-cut, dog gets treated again, never did hear it. Never did hear it. So yeah. Yeah, I did see we got Goose in. There's Christy Denny calling. Hold on just a second. Yes, Christy. So yeah, speaking of interruptions, they're all out eating lunch while I'm over here working and they gripe at me for not doing anything. Typical. But anyway, make sure and turn that on silent. You would think as long as I've been doing this, I wouldn't make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And yet here I am, still doing the same stupid stuff. But yeah, a lot of the same people. Goose is so good in Salem. Goose has made not only when he won the world championship, but he's made deep runs at super stakes. He's done all these things. That dog is hard to beat at Salem. He's hard to beat anywhere. I mean, that's a good dog just about anywhere you slice it, or any way you slice it. I love how I get on the camera and I see stuff on my shirt. But anyway, he's a good dog anywhere, but he's doing really well here. I did talk to Joe Manning the other day about getting another EHS hunt. I love it when hunters that are on the EHS roster call me and say, "Hey, I want another hunt." And Joe says, "I want to redeem myself," because Goose did not look good in that EHS hunt. He caught a bad break out of the truck, caught a coon on the ground. It kind of blew his mind, I think, a little bit. And you can't make a mistake against Gilmore and Clyde. One mistake and you are beat, because that is a tough, tough combination there too. So yeah, I think Goose is throwing some good pups. I hunted with a pretty good one down in Oklahoma, and a couple others. And so yeah, there's nothing wrong with Goose pups as far as I know. But let's go through these quarterfinalists. Let's start with the quarterfinalists there in the regionals. I know everybody watching this has got a pick before these hunts ever start. And so I'll tell you what, you'll definitely, if you pick the winner right now on this Wednesday night broadcast, either out of the dogs that are in or out of the dogs that are still um, competing and haven't got in yet, you will get a joy hat, because it is not very often. How many people would have took Tank 2, or how many people would have took Stogie, or how many people would have took Doug and Hooker last year? Not many. So yeah, you want a free hat, either Cane Stream or Joy. You You comment on who you guys think is going to win this whole thing, and I will start going through these quarterfinalists. The quarterfinalists that got in down in Crowville, Louisiana, that is Rockin' R, Octane Alley, Timothy Chaffin. I believe she is one of the top 10 blue ticks of all time on the Cane Stream top 10 list as well. She's in. That is Timothy Chaffin, of course. Outdoors, Coma's Wet Willie. That is Brendan Toney. Crowd favorite Blueberry Wine, Jesse Lively Jr. $1,000 trip, Evan Ross. Shakers. Oh, that was all. That's all for Louisiana. Then you get to Hattieville, Arkansas. It's Shakers buddy, Danny Raper. Be Good Cowboy, Dual Murphy. The Wicked Odor, Aaron Crow. Knott's big son, Blake Owens. Of course, Aaron Crow, that is the man we bought Hazel off of. Good friend of mine. Congratulations to him and Odor. I believe that's an English dog, and he really likes him. I've heard good things. I've not got to hunt with him yet. In Memphis, Missouri, one of the wildest blue tick females breathing, or blue tick dogs breathing, and probably one of the wildest dogs breathing, period. Blessings, Raging Roxy, that is Henry Blessing. Thunderbird's Little Rattler, that is Judd Koshko. Heat Seeker Sergeant Striker, Grant Whitmer Jr., Ryan Reynolds, and Drive Tracks. I would assume it's a different Ryan Reynolds than the actor. Don't know. Well, I do know, actually. In McAllister, Oklahoma, it is Triple B Lonesome Zeke Eddie Green, also a blue tick dog that we did a podcast on. He got in the finals of the big hunt up there at La Plata. I seen that dog look very, very good in 2 rounds by himself with coons. Very good dog there. Bluegrass Jennings, that is Cole Noland. Fully committed money shot. Tyler Compton got money shot in down there in McAllister. Raven is just getting ready to have a pile of money shot pups. It looks like she is big as a barn. She is due April 1st. So hopefully we have some little Raven by shot April Fool's pups very soon. Last Chance Whiskey. That is Tyler Young. Then you get into the St. George, South Carolina. That is Wipe 'em Out Joe, Michael Ward, Socket to Boudreaux, Christopher Hyatt, Timothy Anderson with Drives No Spec, Wipe Out Threesome Riley. That is Roger Mark Odom, and Big Country's boy Chad Falling. Of course, I've hunted with Joe. I've hunted with Country Boy. Very good dogs there. I've not hunted with the other 3 that got in right there, but South Carolina's a long ways away from here. But you see some familiar names out there. Chris Hyatt, Chad Falling, a lot of South Carolina guys, North Carolina guys. That's so far out of my wheelhouse that every time I go out there, I see people I don't know, which is rare for me at a coon hunt. Yeah, so that is it for the regional events, and then we get into Monday night here at the World Hunt. Got to remember, a lot of them regional events were canceled because of the crazy weather we had, snowstorms, ice storms, all that stuff. So, Monday night, your double cast winners there are Corn Creek Pack Out Sprocket. That is Jason Moore. Zebras Piglet, the only one, Bryce Richardson. That is a different name. It's spelled Zebras Piglet, Zebbras, Piglet, the only one. I assume that is the only one. I don't think I've seen a dog named that before. So yeah, definitely the only one. That is Bryce Richardson. Then you got Anthony Rowe with Topper's Tipper, Matt Ross with Wolf Ticket, Ocean Drive's Snooky's Cookie, Justin Davenport, Zeb's Fortunate Son, Bradley Beaver, Elijah Leverett with Fame, Frogger Stylish Fame. Of course, you guys have seen Fame before. We filmed some finals with him in it. Then you have Tank's Best Ruby, Doug Hevner, which is a littermate to Hooker. I assume they're hunting Hooker now. I do not know. World Champion Flat Rock Legs, Bobby Burden. Of course, we all know that dog and that handler. Then we got Bug-Eyed Big Ticket Buster. That is Jerry McNeil. Moss Hill picking up sticks with Chris Collins. Wildwood Bow, Jeremy Houchin. Rodeo's Joe, Greg Maynard. Electric Cowboy, Austin Gentry. And Wipeout Black Zach, Mr. Barry Kitty. So, yeah, I don't see any picks. I can't believe you guys aren't putting some picks down. I guess you may want to wait to see who else got in. Tuesday night, we have Willie's Little Ann, Mr. John Strickland. course, the aforementioned Dustin Weed and Black Goose. They are in. Congratulations to him and Cole. Hobo, he is in with Jeff Rickliffs. Lone Wolf, Jeff Stoller. That's a very good dog right there. Just the Norm, Cleon Van Cleek. Wipeout Ruby, Brandon Kosselman. Josh Jones with Maxed Out Dow Jones. Troubles Threat, John Mall. Heather Island Crashing Out, Dual Murphy. Little Lacey, Eric Pyatt. Jockstock, Wesley Watson. Mojo Electric Bojo, Maggie Morgan. Checkmate, Michael Ward. And the Rodeo Show, David Vanover. And your final dog in last night was Wipeout J, Bob McBride. So I see Duel with 2 in and Ward with 2 in. He's got both Joe. And I'll have to ask him about Checkmate. I don't know anything about that dog. That's interesting. Alan Smith says Dow Jones. I see the picks coming in. Make them. You guys make them. This broadcast's going to last another 6 or 7 minutes. And then after that, no more chances. But I may throw in a little extra because if someone picks that dog that wins it right now, they need to go to a racetrack. Brody Julian says JoJo. Michael Ward, good pick there. You got to look at some of these dogs that have been so close. I don't know, Seth. What your cast was 341. I haven't looked at any of the casts. $341. I would. That's probably the only chance you got. I'd scratch them all. Donnie Stevens says Weed and the Black Goose. Never said anything more true. Well, considering most of the stuff I say probably isn't true, that's a pretty low bar. Pretty low bar, Mr. Seth. You got a good cast. Got the winningest dog of all time in PKC. I don't know anything about Sally or Dan. So, yeah. There's some good casts in there tonight. I see Joe Manning Jr. hunting a little dog called Late Night Billy Bear. Don't know any of that. I'll tell you what, Kenny Mason drew a tough one tonight. Josh Campbell, Colin Gray, and Ryan Krausen. The goose is loose in Salem, Brody Julian says. That is a thing. The blue one sucks. Don't they all, Seth? Not just because it's blue, but they all suck every now and then. They all suck every now and then. That is a fact. There's a good cast right there. You got Bronk McDaniel and Jed, Chad Doolin and Fancy, Rex Robinson Jr. with Betty 2, and Boo Boo Rivers with Battle Axe. Just going through some of these cast matchups. There are 50 casts tonight. I believe there's 198 dogs. The entries are down just a touch, and I think a lot of it has to do with weather. A lot of it. This weather has been terrible. Mark Beard, you want a hat? Well, pick the dog that you think's going to win the World Hunt, and you may not even have to buy one. You get them right, we'll send you one for free. I see Jesse Lively Jr. is hunting the Coon Buster. He's got a tough cast with Baby Tank and Dustin Weed, Jess Parsons and Ethan Wells. Chris Allen with Maggie. He's always fun to hunt with. Mark Gilmore hunting Crash. So, yeah, I did not, for the purpose of this, I did not go through anything before I come out here. Trevor Abernathy says Electric Cowboy. Good pick there. Cowboy's been on a roll. Austin appears to have that dog ready to go. Well, that's what you get for living in the frozen tundra, Mr. Stevens. Someone's got to explain to me why a guy that loves coon hunting as much as you do, competition coon hunting especially, lives in Canada. Like, I get cold in North Missouri. I'm ready to go to Texas by about November. I couldn't imagine having to hunt up there. I bet you would. I bet you would. What's the coldest you've hunted in up there, Donnie? There's John Wick and Coy Watson. He was just at the squirrel hunt last week. I seen Coy when I walked in there. He's got Adam Lowry, Greg Mitchell, Joey Goforth. BK Keeling hunting Apollo tonight. Good for him. That's a really good dude right there. America's Project Apollo. I know I judged Apollo at Nationals. Jeff was hunting him, I believe. And I'd hunted with him a lot. I'd hunted with him when Strickland had him, all that stuff. And that was as good as I ever seen that dog look. And I've seen him look really good, but he was really on point that night at Nationals. And still got beat. Had a den, and Jesse Lively and Blueberry Wine had a coon at the end. Yeah, that's probably true, Donnie. We get a month of really bad weather. It's just a month. But we didn't have no snow this year. Our snow came and gone pretty quick. Got down to about 20 below a couple nights, several nights, around the 10, 11 degree below zero mark. But our cold is a month. You're looking at probably first week of January. You'll have 3 weeks there in January, and you'll have a warm week usually. And then in February, the first 2, 3 weeks of February are usually pretty miserable. So you're looking at January 10th to February 10th. You're struggling. You're not getting out of the house much. But our snow didn't. I bet we didn't get probably 10, 12 inches of snow all year combined. I don't know where Jason Doherty is. I'm not seeing him on tonight's anywhere. I thought he might have been hunting something other than Jed. I don't know. I'm not seeing him on any of the Wednesday night casts. See Lane Denny's hunting Juice. That's a pretty good little pup right there. He is out of shot. I got to hunt with him down at Lane's here a few weeks ago. I liked him. Yes, Doug is hunting Hooker tonight. So that's an interesting cast at 344 with Ryan and Kenny. Kenny bought that dog off Ryan. Loretta Lynn, he calls her. And I hunted with her down at the Mark Hall Invitational. You guys can actually see that hunt too. I believe it was night 2. Kenny got in with her. I actually filmed an early round with him and Loretta Lynn too. That's a really nice dog. And she looked really good down there. And so Ryan's going to know exactly what Loretta Lynn is, whenever they turn loose. So he's got a little bit of an advantage there, which Kenny's a sharp dog, man. He's hunted with Liz too. He beat Liz down there a couple nights. Liz just coming off the truck win. Of course, she's owned by J.R. Wall, who I hunt for as well. And that dog raised down in Texas, and JR was able to get her bought. Yeah, Van Pierce raised her. That's a really good female. Just won a truck 2 weeks ago. So that is an interesting cast. Josh Campbell, Colin Gray in there too. A couple good dog men as well. So the Ralph pup's doing good. I got him out here. I'm actually going pleasure hunting tonight. I got Shame, a guy wanting to maybe try him out to see if we're going to buy him, if they're going to buy him or not. And so I've got both the spring 1-year-olds here. I'm going to go hunt them as soon as I get done with this broadcast. I've got a spot up here about an hour north of Salem to go hunt with a couple buddies, and they are interested in Shame, so hopefully they'll let me turn Ralphie loose a little bit too, and maybe I can get him hunted even in this wind. I like hunting them. I got a little momentum right now. With Ralph, I took him to the Bear Creek, his first cast. Did not go well. Took him down there Tuesday night. Struck for 100 out of the truck, which is very unlike him. Under the minute. 42 seconds in. I'm judging. and he opens probably 5 or 6 times before I strike him because I was a little leery. He don't bark that much. He'll keep the 6 off of him, but he's not a good strike dog. But he did strike for 100, and when the minute I struck him, he barked through the minute, so I knew I wasn't gonna get minus, and I thought I'm in deep trouble because anytime I have a quarter strike dog that strikes for 100, it never ends well. And sure enough, Ralph goes in there about 500, 600 yards and gets treed by himself. Go in there. It is a gut slick. Minus him 225, but we're only 10 minutes into this cast, and I drove all the way over here. I wanted to turn him loose just to see what he would do. And so, even though I knew I was probably out of it, definitely not going to get in the final four, I cut loose again, and he never made another tree. I caught him 3 hours later. So that's how that went. He would go about a half mile, and he'd bang around a little bit and leave it. And then he would go about another half mile, and he'd bang around and leave it. And I finally got him caught. Ben Kellogg won the cast with he treated 2 coons. Little dog looked good. Yes, Christine. And from now on, I'm just not even taking it. Unless it's a dog that usually strikes for 100, I'm not striking it for 100, even if I get the opportunity or if I really have to have it. They always end up burning it. I always end up with a den or a slick or the 6 catching them or something stupid. I have the most terrible luck when I strike for 100. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's what we got, ladies and gentlemen. Those are our Wednesday updates. Here's how we're going to do it this week. We will do updates Wednesday, Thursday. Of course, Friday it's going to get a little more busy. We'll do 2 or 3 live streams on Friday. We'll try to set some of these guys down. Friday's picture day, all that stuff. We will get some of that brought to you. Then, of course, we have Saturday. Ooh, that wind's blowing. Like shaking the building blowing, but the sun's out, so I assume there's not a tornado. But anyway, Saturday we will have semifinals live, updates from right here at the booth, like we always do. Saturday we shall be in the woods. I've already talked to Terry. I said, hey, we need to make sure. Let's hunt over there where Doug won last year. That's a good spot, and it's got good service. And so everything should be squared away. Barring any technical difficulties or something crazy happening, we should be able to bring everything to you. Members, go check out the new EHS hunt. Miss Christine, she was there. She walked along. She knows what happens, but it is available for members. It'll be available for the public on Tuesday. A lot of good stuff for the members. Zach McBee's Dog Life, episode 1 and 2. Episode 3 is coming. A lot of good stuff for the King Stream members, content-wise, on the channel. So if you're not a member, go ahead and do that. Alan Smith, yes, that is the same exact place I did fall and break all my stuff in fall super stake. I had to tote everything around. My arms were so sore from not having anything to pack the camera with. I had to just hold it. It's but it is what it is. That's the only in all the live streams I've done. Creeks, ditches, fences, brush that's so crazy you can't hardly stand in corn, all that stuff, walking crossroads through it with Strickland down there like a bunch of idiots. I've never fallen on camera except for that one time, and I was in the middle of a wide open cow pasture and tripped over a little bitty stick that I got wrapped up in my feet. Is that not ridiculous? Crazy. So yeah, that's what I got. You guys keep track of your picks. Keep track of your picks. We've got Electric Cowboy. We've got Goose. We've got Dow Jones. You get them right. Goose wins. Brody Julian's going to win a hat. Yeah. Yeah, that is it for Wednesday night, folks. Stay tuned about this time every night. Between that 5:45, 6 o'clock mark, we will give you live updates. Make sure and share this link around. Let everybody know what we're doing. It'll get as the week goes on, the coverage will get more extensive too. That's not the deal, Mark Beard. Got to pick a winner. We're getting stingy with these Joy hats. Getting stingy with them. This is the only one I got. I've been wearing it for 2 years, I think. So yeah, thanks to the sponsors: Joy, Elite Nutrition, Carolina Coon Hunter Supply. All our sponsors from the past too. I got Johnny Watkins and Razor Hunting Gear set up right here next to me. Tonkies Outdoors. Everybody's always been so great with us. So yeah, thanks to all those guys. Thanks to all the members. Johnny Stout getting it in. Goosey says. But yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get my stuff ready. I'm going to go pleasure hunting, try to sell a pup. If you know anybody that wants a really good spring 1-year-old, if they don't buy him tonight or tomorrow, he will be on the board. He's a good pup. It is not Ralph. It's Shane. You can see some videos of him. I got him. Actually, I just posted that one where he's pleasure hunting the other night. I self-filmed that hunt. That's dumb. I don't like doing that. People don't think I hunt because I don't put it on Snapchat or Facebook or anything, but I'm still hunting 4 or 5 nights a week. But man, when I'm hunting, I don't want to be filming crap. It was a pain doing that. But I put it up just to see if anybody would like watching it. Why you would, I don't know. But you'll get to see Ralph Tree Coon, Shame Tree Coon. Part 1 is up. Shame looked good out of the truck, and then after that, everything went to hell. It was not a good hunt. But part of hunting young dogs is what it is. So yeah, thanks for joining me, folks. Remember, stay tuned. We will be live back here same time tomorrow. We'll have more news for you, more gossip, more headlines, whatever you want to call it. And it is World Hunt Week, and we're happy to bring it to you. So we'll see you tomorrow night.